Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Color Magazine's Women of Color Innovator Awards, where diverse women are recognized and celebrated for fostering innovation in finance, tech, healthcare, education, wellness, small businesses, diversity, equity, and inclusion. My name is Erin, and I am CEO and founder of Melanin Erin Virtual Assistants. We help overwhelmed CEOs streamline their digital marketing so that they can show up authentically in their business and raise those sales. I'm absolutely honored to be MC of tonight's award ceremony. Now, I want to bring to the virtual stage dynamic leader and visionary at the helm of color, Camilla Avant, Director of Diversity Programs.
Good evening. We are so excited to celebrate our nominees and have a young woman like Erin Alexander Edwards as our MC for Color's first ever Woman of Color Innovator Awards. Erin is making her mark as a multifaceted global businesswoman and truly embodies someone with an entrepreneurial spirit. We're so happy to have you, Erin. We have an amazing group of diverse women of color to recognize and celebrate all of their contributions in cybersecurity, finance, education, healthcare, DEI, tech, and so much more. These women are experts in their fields, contribute to the success of their own businesses, other organizations and institutions, and just accomplishing great things. I'd like to personally thank our independent judges who also lead in business in areas of diversity, tech, healthcare, and took out their time of their busy schedules to select our award recipients. A big thank you for your dedication and contribution. One of the reasons that women often get overlooked is because there's a vast misconception about what makes someone a good innovator. Often, the best innovators are thought to be the likes of a Steve Jobs, brash, aggressive, domineering. But we know the opposite is true. Our awardees are successful because they have passion, talent, authenticity, and are just courageous. They empower girls, young women, their communities, drive innovation, and strive to achieve gender equality in their respective career fields. They are about paving the way for a more diverse and inclusive future while thinking outside the box and being change makers. I'm excited to get this event going and to hear more about our opening speaker and award winner and all of our awardees. So Erin, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Camilla, for those kind and inspiring remarks. It is with genuine excitement and my pleasure to introduce to you the 2021 Publishers Award for Innovative Excellence and opening keynote speaker for tonight's awards. Pamela Rosario Perez, Customer Experience and Business Transformation, Rapid7, a leading cybersecurity and compliance solutions firm. Pamela is an award-winning business leader in the areas of customer experience and cybersecurity services. A collaborative problem solver, her work has inspired public and private sectors leaders to bridge the gap between the high-tech economy and historically marginalized communities through cross-sectoral initiatives such as the Cyber Warrior Academy, Massachusetts' first certified cybersecurity and machine learning apprenticeship for women, veterans, and people of color. Today, you can find Pamela redesigning how customers engage with cybersecurity advisors globally at Rapid7. When not at Rapid7, Pamela is serving her community as a first-generation investor and entrepreneur. Her passion for real estate investing led her to found Rosena Real Estate Strategies, an investment firm that teaches Black and Latino communities how to build wealth through real estate and offer scholarships to high school students looking to drive change in their communities. Please welcome Pamela Rosario Perez.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Women of Color Innovator Awards. When Camila first reached out to tell me about this incredible honor, I couldn't believe it. I literally did not think it was real. My time in cybersecurity has turned me into a skeptic, so I had to connect with her in person to realize this was truly happening. Although my initial skepticism is amusing in hindsight, it revealed something deeper. I couldn't believe I was receiving the Publisher's Award for Innovative Achievement because I didn't feel I had reached the ranks of expert innovators. I work at a cybersecurity firm surrounded by some of the most brilliant technologists, engineers, strategists, visionaries, and creatives I've ever come across. What I've accomplished so far doesn't even compare to what they've done, was my initial thought. However, when I took a look at my life, my family, and where we come from, I realized that innovation is in our blood. Our area of expertise, well, that would be creating something out of nothing through self-determination, what Professor Maulana Karenga called Kujichagulia. The second principle of Kwanzaa, Kujichagulia, means self-determination. It has been a guiding tenet in my life. It reaffirms the right of people to determine their own destiny in daily lives, no matter the oppressive structures they were born into, or the labels and limitations placed upon them by the powers that be. Although I learned the term Kujichagulia later in life, this value was inculcated in me by my ancestors long before I migrated to the United States. It was taught to me as el poder de un sueño, the power of a dream. I was born in Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic, and raised in Sonador, a small, humble village in the countryside. Our home had 3 rooms separated by colorful sheets. It was crowned with a corrugated tin roof that produced the most delightful music when it rained, and featured an outhouse that played a key role in all the scary El Cuco boogeyman stories the neighborhood kids would tell. From the outside, it looked like any other wooden house in El Campo, in the countryside. But to me, it was more than that. It was truly the birthplace of my innovation, because in that house, my great-grandmothers told me that I could be anything I wanted to be if I used my imagination and I dared to dream. And use my imagination, I did. At times, more often than my family felt comfortable with. When our TV antenna stopped working, one of my first innovations saw me fashion a fishbone antenna out of scrap metal from the roof and a metal clothes hanger from my cousin's closet. I almost gave my caretakers a heart attack when I escaped out the back window, climbed up the roof, and installed it myself because I dreamed that it could be done. It didn't work, I will be honest, but that didn't stop me from dreaming. When my friends and I couldn't afford to buy baseballs for our games of Plaquita, I started collecting river pebbles, rubber bands, and small plastic bags from Los Colmados, the corner stores, to create one. To everyone's surprise, the makeshift rock baseballs had a nice bounce and they held together pretty nicely. So I started selling them, at times trading them for toys and snacks, but only if you were a repeat buyer. And so I learned that dreams could also be profitable, but also how to nurture a customer base. As the family grew, I had 3, then 8, then 11 younger siblings I could innovate with. Although there were times when our creativity got us into trouble, like when we taped a broom to our German Shepherd in hopes it would speed up cleaning, I'm very fortunate to have been raised by a family that encouraged us to dream, and to know that its alchemy could produce rich opportunities in the most barren of lands. When people are asked about great innovators, many point to the brilliant minds of Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or other iconic entrepreneurs who have disrupted industries, created entire categories, and radically transformed how we consume or how we navigate our day-to-day. My favorite innovator is lesser known in the business world, but she checks off all the boxes. Who's that great innovator? Well, in my book, the greatest innovator was my grandmother, Maria Estela de Sena Rousseau. She disrupted my fate, created a new category that redefined Dominican womanhood, and radically transformed how I viewed what was possible and achievable for an immigrant Black girl born in the countryside of a developing nation. My grandmother, Abuita, as I used to call her, was born in an even smaller town than the one I was raised in, a village called Banica near the Haitian border. Born to a family of sharecroppers, she fiercely believed in the power of self-determination and taught herself how to read and write in order to improve her prospects, although she didn't know what better prospects could possibly mean for a woman growing up during the Trujillo dictatorship. My grandmother first worked as a grade school teacher at a Christian school, but when she heard that the United States government was offering work visas to Dominican women with select skills, she quickly learned the art of dressmaking in order to qualify as a seamstress, which allowed her to move to the United States in the early 80s. Her innovation was evident in the way she constantly reinvented herself to seize opportunities. Once in the United States, she worked many jobs. Her dream was to save enough money so she could bring the rest of her family to the United States. To achieve this, she worked as a line cook, a seamstress, a baker, and ultimately a certified nursing assistant. Her extraordinary work ethic earned her the name Double Double, referring to her penchant for working back-to-back double shifts at the nursing home. Soon after I first came to the United States, I learned that I was to live with her and my grandfather. These two strangers were to become my new mom and dad. A child of volatile teenage parents, I often bounced around from household to household with new caretakers every week. So I was unsurprised by this new development. I was, however, deeply disturbed by this new world, this new country, the strange language, the teachers who suspected me of cheating when I aced a test, the school staff who placed bets on me and other Latina students getting pregnant before reaching high school, the academic counselors who wouldn't provide guidance, but instead recommended to my guardians that I be medicated so that I would stop disrupting the classroom with countless questions. When my new world attempted to diminish my accomplishments, my grandmother reminded me of where we came from, of how not too long ago we were sharecroppers, and how I was now on the brink of creating a future for myself far wilder than my ancestors thought possible. She did not let me forget that I was a product of our own innovation. Her lessons in innovation, reinvention, and self-determination carried me through the most challenging moments of my academic and professional career. In 2009, I made history as the first Black Latina valedictorian of my high school. Excited to honor my heritage with my valedictorian speech, I was shocked when school officials threatened to cut off my mic if I veered off the script and spoke Spanish. Instead of breaking under the pressure, she encouraged me to follow my heart and not fear breaking convention. She also told me to have empathy for my critics, compassion for those who didn't understand me, and to remember that people mock what they cannot comprehend. After all, she'd say, how many muchachitas from El Campo do you know went to Harvard? My strongest advocate and role model for innovation, Abuita, passed away in 2012, hours after completing her last double shift, and months before I launched my career and could show her the fruits of her labor. Nevertheless, her lessons remained. When I was homeless after graduating Harvard, her example of making something out of nothing gave me the courage to manage a political campaign and make history when Cambridge elected its first city councilor of Afro-Latino descent. When I found myself pigeonholed in a role without any prospects of moving up in a company, it was her teachings that propelled me to go where I would be celebrated, not tokenized. And so I did, multiple times, without hesitation. My grandmother taught me to not leave my career in the hands of people who did not understand my greatness, no matter how well-meaning they were. A company not recognizing my potential did not mean I could not recognize my own. So move on, I did. And as I navigated the uncharted waters of politics, finance, and tech as a first-generation professional, curating my career with select experiences employers were hesitant to provide for me, I truly tasted the power of dreaming my way to a career I was proud of. My grandmother came to the United States without a plan, only a dream. She dared to break from the status quo and aspire for greatness in a foreign land. What this has taught me is that innovation is not about having all the answers from the onset or having a clear vision of the destination. To me, it's about being curious, about breaking convention. My career as an award-winning professional in the areas of customer experience and cybersecurity is dedicated to her. My identity as a collaborative problem solver was molded by her. My grandparents instilled in me a passion for mentorship and for teaching as I climbed, but also as I fell, which is why I help women, veterans, and people of color break into cybersecurity and why I founded my real estate investment firm, Rosenna Real Estate Strategies, naming it after them, Rosario de Sena. Today, Rosenna Real Estate is a $4.7 million firm that teaches Black and Latino youth how to build wealth through real estate and offers scholarships to high school students looking to drive change in their communities. Today, I work at one of the top cybersecurity companies in the world, creating innovative experiences to help organizations, big and small, prevent cyber attacks and thwart malicious actors. I'd like to dedicate this moment to my grandmother and to all the incredible innovative powerhouses we have in our lives. I dedicate this to our ancestors who conquered unimaginable obstacles in order for us to stand in our truth and take our seat at the table. Thank you to Camila Avant, Josefina Bonilla, and the wonderful staff of Color for producing opportunities for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color to celebrate the resilience and strength of our community. Like Haiti's coat of arms says, l'union fait la force. In other words, unity makes strength. May we never forget that we're stronger together. May this not be the last that we see of each other, but serve as a launching point for new friendships, new partnerships, and new mentorships. Thank you for your time. Until we meet again.
Thank you, Pamela. It was wonderful hearing more about your story as well as how you impact your community. You really show us what it means to be an innovator. According to Webster Dictionary, what it means to innovate is to make changes in something already established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. In other words, innovation is about transformation, about imagination, and so innovation is valuable in every industry. Before we begin the award ceremony, we'd like to hear a few words on the power of innovation from our friends and partners, Carol Copeland Thomas, McLean Hospital, and the IXL Center for Innovation, Excellence, and Leadership. Thank you for the work you do to prepare and empower future generations of innovators.
Hi, this is Carol Copeland Thomas, and this is your diversity tip of the day. Diversity is a long-haul journey. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And in order for it to be embedded into the infrastructure of an organization, sometimes that takes a lot of elbow grease and work. I've been in this business for 30 years, and I can tell you the fits and the starts and the ups and the downs of what it takes to really move diversity forward. It is definitely worth it, but it does take time because ultimately you're asking for people's behavior to change. And to change behavior can be very frightening and can be resistant by some individuals. But that really is what it takes to move diversity forward. Diversity is also an interrupter. And again, when you're looking at some of the workplace issues where we make decisions, we engage in dialogue, we work on projects together, a lot of that has been established by years of working at a job over and over again, or established customs or opportunities that people take advantage of over the course of a number of years, decades, and centuries in some instances. Diversity steps in and says, wait a minute, let's examine this. Let's see who's getting ahead, how they're getting ahead, and are there some new opportunities for other people to be included in the mix where more people have a favorable advantage to benefit from the inclusive environment that we have at the workplace. Well, that ultimately, that interruptive factor, again, causes people to realize you've got to change. You have to change in order for diversity to work. And a lot of people don't want to change, especially if you're nearing retirement, you've done things a certain way, and you say, I don't want to do a new way because I know this particular way, or I don't want to work with this particular person, or whatever the circumstances or the objections happen to be. The interruptions that are put in place ultimately may move an organization, a department, a unit forward because the interruptions can have a more corrective action for people to engage more fairly with each other. So it's not easy. It is not an easy process. And that's why sometimes organizations bring in people like me to be that interrupter so that we can examine where you move, where you need to go, and how your organization can become healthier, more productive, and stronger in the long run. It's a long-term process. It takes a while, but it certainly can be very, very beneficial for each and every one if diversity is done in a systematic way where those interruptions will lead to better outcomes. Visit my website at carolcopelandthomas.com. That's CAROLE, copelandthomas.com, to learn more about my business products, services, the Multicultural Symposium series, and ways that we can work together. Thanks so much for watching.
What we have discovered is people need more dots, and those who get more dots are able to make better pictures, because those with more dots will see more things. People come all the way from Colombia, Brazil, from Dubai, from Korea, and they converge into Boston, where we have one of the most fantastic ecosystems on the planet. And here they come, and in the morning they might get some lectures, and they may get some training. In the afternoon they get visits to some of our innovation centers at Verizon, or innovation centers at IBM, or innovation centers at Schneider Electronics or Johnson & Johnson. And they get to learn about how innovation is happening in this fantastic ecosystem called Boston, using a world-class methodology. And the way we do it is different than every other organization out there. This methodology was tested and proven on thousands of projects around the world. We get to work on the toughest challenges on the planet. It's one of the more fun projects we work on. They come here and they leave refreshed, energized, with new ideas, new networks of people, new projects, new programs, and new partners. What is a game changer? What's a moonshot? What will make your people excited? What is it that will create a transformation that will make you win in a way that nobody else can copy? As IXL Center, we want to work on big and bold ideas. It's something that every person should do in order to broaden their horizons.
McLean is one of the best in the world. I wouldn't want to be in other hands.
McLean Hospital changed my life.
I don't know where my family would be today if it wasn't for the outstanding care my daughter received at McLean.
It's sentiments like these from grateful patients and their family members that speak to the heart of McLean Hospital and the faculty and staff who have dedicated their careers to improving the lives of people affected by psychiatric illness. Bringing together the best of compassion and science, our clinicians and researchers enable us to provide innovative and expert care for even the most complex cases. Through our highly specialized clinical services, McLean cares for over 10,000 people annually. Our areas of expertise span substance use disorders, psychotic illnesses, borderline personality disorder, depression, anxiety disorders, OCD, trauma, and eating disorders. As the flagship psychiatric hospital of Harvard Medical School, McLean has 7 campuses across Massachusetts and Maine, as well as consultative services around the globe. We offer inpatient, residential, partial hospital, and outpatient programs serving all ages, from children to elder adults. It's encouraging to learn from our quality measurement efforts that 90% or more of our patients report positive outcomes, and they say they'd recommend our services to a friend or loved one. These are among the reasons we have been named the #1 hospital in the country for psychiatric care by U.S. News & World Report. While such recognition is gratifying, we are most proud of the work we do each and every day to help people lead healthy, fulfilling, and successful lives. Inspired by those whom we serve and true to our mission, we will always keep striving to advance the field to provide ever better care.
Thank you again. As we approach the moment you've all been waiting for, we wanted to just take a moment and thank you, the audience, for nominating innovative leaders who are making huge impacts in our communities. And I also want to thank our panel of expert judges for offering their keen insight in support of this event. Please, if you're able, let's give a big round of applause for Janine Fondin, President and CEO, UnityFirst.com, Dr. Sandra Casey, Buford D&I expert and Executive Vice President, Strategy and Innovation of Decision Insight Incorporated, Jasprit Dillian, Vice President, Strategic Analytics at Comcast Enterprise Business Intelligence, and last but not least, Dr. Sharon M. Walker, Director, Legal at Translate Bio, and 2021 Women of Color STEM Achievement Award winner. And Without further ado, let's celebrate this year's honorees. The first award will go to a leader who identifies, supports, and promotes innovative business practices that address important challenges in diversity, equity, and inclusion. In the category of DEI Innovator, our winner is Dr. Nika White, President and CEO of Nika White Consulting. Dr. Nika White is a national authority and fearless advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion. As an award-winning management and leadership consultant, keynote speaker, published author, and executive practitioner for DEI efforts across business, government, nonprofit, and education, Dr. White helps organizations break barriers and integrate DEI into their business framework. Dr. White grew up in South Carolina and spent most of her adult life in Greenville. Over the years, Nika became head of diversity and inclusion at the Greenville Chamber, transforming the city and creating a model that chambers across the nation would follow and call upon to implement best DEI practices. The heart of Dr. White's work is around being able to create transformative environments with intentionality around inclusions.
I want to start this acceptance speech by evoking the words of the late Dr. Maya Angelou. I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. For you see, my story, my successes, setbacks, and journey as a DEI practitioner is only possible because of the Black women who came before me. While I am one of the individuals being recognized tonight, I would like to believe that I stand in this moment because of the thousands of people who fought for my freedom and my rights. Thank you to the Color magazine for this recognition and reward. Being considered an innovator is not something that I take lightly. I have built my career around being an intentional inclusionist. I am paving a path for other marginalized voices and disrupting the status quo because I believe it is possible to build a more just and equitable society. At Nika White Consulting, our motto is simple: growing better. Every day, I strive to develop better in this work, to make an indelible mark, and help build a better future for my children, their future children, and their children's children. I want to thank my husband, Carlo, for his unwavering support and encouragement, as well as my two children, Hannah and CJ, and also my team at NWC, who all make this possible. Thank you.
The next award will go to a leader whose innovative business practices addresses important challenges in healthcare and promotes equity and inclusion in healthcare for people of color. In the category of Healthcare Innovator, our winner is Deanna Cook, CEO of Aquila Cares, LLC. Deanna Cook founded Aquila Cares, LLC in 2014 to help people in Baltimore City and surrounding counties who have mental health diagnoses. She had previously worked as a mentor and tutor and felt the need to start her own business that could service people with mental health issues and work to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, particularly in African American communities. Ms. Cook was born and raised in Baltimore City and has an AA degree in business administration.
Good afternoon. To the executive staff of Color Magazine and all its constituents, it is an honor to be selected as the recipient for the Women of Color Healthcare Innovator Award. First, I must thank Patricia Ladd, the program director, and all my support staff for their hard work and dedication. Aquila Cares would not be successful without the strong support and commitment of my staff and family. Since we started in 2014, Aquila Cares has been dedicated to making a positive change in Maryland's community. As our philosophy states, a healthy mind is what plants the seeds for a better tomorrow for you, your family, and our community. I chose to name my company Aquila, which means wisdom, because I want my consumers to make wise decisions with their health care. The overwhelming need for mental health services has been a lifetime endeavor for me. The pandemic of 2019 has magnified the need for services far beyond what we could ever imagine. We are expanding our services to accommodate the rising demand for mental health care in these difficult times. Throughout the industry, the delivery of quality service has not always been in the best interest of the consumer. We often hear, if we had only known, sometime after it's too late to stop serious harm. At Aquila Cares, we place high premium on delivering quality services tailored to an individual's needs. Aquila Cares places a special emphasis in helping consumers recognize their mental health needs. Identifying one's needs is not always a simple task. Many of us have needs that we're not aware of or will not admit. Recently, we have heard stories of athletes who have helped bring greater awareness to mental health. People recognize them for their athletic abilities. However, they are greater heroes for their courage to bring attention to need to seek help. God bless them in every way for what they have done to raise mental health awareness. Saving the best for last, must thank God for making Aquila Cares possible. Thank you.
The following award will go to an individual whose innovative business practices and/or products promotes DEI in the tech industry and expands industry access to women of color. In the category of Tech Innovator, our winner is Irma Olguin Jr., CEO and co-founder of Bitwise Industries. As CEO and co-founder, Irma oversees Bitwise Ventures, which houses the company's portfolio companies, as well as the screening and interviewing of all employment candidates and apprentices for Bitwise Industries. Her goal is to ensure Bitwise remains faithful to its mission of strengthening the tech industry in cities across the country and turning it into a driver of real economic progress for all. Prior to Bitwise, Irma also co-founded Hashtag, an open workspace for designers, developers, and entrepreneurs to collaborate, and Edit LLC to solve efficiency and data issues in the agricultural industry.
Hi, my name is Irma Olguin Jr. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Bitwise Industries, which is headquartered in Fresno, California. Wanted to take a moment to thank everyone for the recognition in this Women of Color Innovator Award. When we began in 2013, we believed that we could change the reality of our local economy by catalyzing the technology industry in a place where you don't expect to find high tech. But very specifically, what we set out to do was to change the literal faces and the places that the technology industry seems to exist in this country. And in doing that work, what we have found, of course, is that there is untapped potential all over the map. And if only they had access to the resources and the space in their lives to access that opportunity, they would themselves find agency and success in ways that they could give back to their community. I'm honored to represent this work, headquartered in the Central Valley of California, in a way that puts the human being first. Being a brown, queer woman from the middle of nowhere and succeeding in the technology industry is, I hope, a signal to folks in the industry that no one belongs here more than you. We believe deeply that representation matters. And so I humbly accept this award, and I'm really excited for what the future of the technology industry might look like. Thank you so much.
Our next award recognizes innovative achievement from a small business owner. In the category of Small Business Innovator, the winner is Keila Hall, Principal Chief Executive Officer, KD Hall Communications. Keila Hall runs 3 successful organizations: KD Hall Communications, KD Hall Foundation, and most recently, Bell Body Royale. In her 15 years of strategic communications, storytelling, integrated marketing experience, and teaching communications and marketing for both Bellevue College and the University of Washington, KD Hall has excelled across all platforms. She holds a bachelor's degree in mass communications with a minor in broadcasting journalism from Oakland University, as well as MBA and Master in Adult Education, Leadership in Training from the University of Phoenix.
Hello, my name is KD Hall, and I am the president and the CEO of KD Hall Communications, also one of the co-founders and principal consultants. I am so grateful to be able to receive a Woman Innovative Award from Color Magazine. Really want to thank you for this. This has definitely been a tremendous time for my business and seeing the tremendous growth and being in a Black woman-led business and being able to really prosper in a time of so much change has been absolutely incredible. I absolutely want to, thank my team because as you all know, there's no I in a team, and we would not be able to have had so much success over the last 2 years without an award-winning team. It's just the truth. I want to thank my husband, David, my daughters from keeping me up late at night and and making me continue to stay motivated to be able to do the work that we do. One of the things that I was just talking to another reporter about this year has been phenomenal. We have won a lot of awards, and every last one of them feels so great. The one thing I want to make sure that I do is not get so caught up in the accolades and the awards, and just making sure that we're continuously to do good work every single day when people are watching or when they're not watching. And just let the awards to continue to be an output or an outcome of the work that we're doing out of our hearts. But once again, I want to thank you. Today could not have been more of a special day for me to receive this award, as it is my 39th birthday. And it just has been a tremendous year for me and my family. So I really, really, truly want to just thank you for nominating and accepting myself amongst so many other great women who are also receiving the Innovator Award. And I'm very, very grateful, but I'm also humbled to understand that I stand on the shoulders of many great women that have gone through things that I don't have to go through, that has allowed me to grow my business and build it. So with that being said, thank you so much, Color Magazine, and I accept this award. Thank you.
Our next award recognizes innovative achievement from another small business owner. In the category of Education Innovator, the winner is Breion Moses, founder of 7 Hillz Productions. Breion Moses is the founder of full-service production company 7 Hillz Productions and visionary behind the Reel Back Film Summit, the first film summit that focuses specifically on HBCU graduates and students. A native of South Florida, Breion was a co-instructor at the Black Women in Film Summit and holds a master's degree in public administration from Nova Southeastern University and a bachelor's degree in political science from Florida A&M University. Breion is fully committed to helping others. As such, she is heavily involved in her community and serves as the CEO of 7 Hillz Productions Foundation Incorporated, which provides education and scholarships to new and aspiring filmmakers. She is also a member of the Black Women Film Network, National Forum of Public Administrators, and the Nova Southeastern Bethune-Cookman University and FAMU Alumni Associations.
Hello, Color Magazine. I am Breion Moses, the founder and CEO of 7 Hillz Productions, as well as our nonprofit arm, 7 Hillz Productions Foundation. I am honored to be a recipient of the 2021 Women of Color Innovator Award. Congratulations to all of the recipients. I would like to personally thank my team. Without you all, there will be some crazy times. So I really thank you all. To my publicists, my attorneys, my board members, my family, and my friends. And I would like to give a big shout out to my parents, because without you all, there would be no me. Our nonprofit mission is to inspire aspiring filmmakers with an emphasis on HBCUs, because I am a proud graduate of the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, known as FAMU. I would like to leave you all with this. If I can help someone as I travel along my journey, let my living not be in vain. Thank you again, Color Magazine, and congratulations to the other recipients. The sky is the limit. Keep soaring high and high and high. And always remember to reach back and help those who are next in line. So again, thank you all and have a great day.
Our next award recognizes innovative excellence in finance. In the category of Finance Innovator, the winner is Vanita Fields, partner, Pelham S2K Managers LLC. Vanita Fields is one of 36 deal makers named in Mergers and Acquisitions 2019 Most Influential Women in Mid-Market M&A. She is invested in making deal financing available to Black women business owners and creating greater access to capital for exponential economic growth of diverse enterprises. Vanita has decades of experience spanning executive leadership roles at Bank of America, Smith Wiley and Company, and more. Vanita earned a BA from Northwestern University and a Master's of Management degree from the J.L. Kellogg Graduate School of Management. Congratulations.
Thank you, Color Magazine, for that warm introduction, for this recognition, and for this award. I'd like to thank Sandra Findley, the President and CEO of the League of Black Women, who submitted my name in nomination. I gratefully and humbly accept this award. I'm a baby boomer who grew up in the segregated South in a small Mississippi town, and I know firsthand the sting of separate facilities and unequal treatment. I stand on the shoulders of my parents who firmly believed that with faith, a good education, and hard work, the possibilities of my success would be unlimited. Based upon their belief and sacrifice, I was able to attend some of the best schools in the country, which ultimately led me to opportunities in business and finance. When I started my career as a banker, there were very few role models and mentors. As I became a manager in corporate America, I hired women and people of color to give them opportunity. I'm proud to say that those men and women today are innovators and entrepreneurs in their own right and are financing their own businesses, minority-owned and majority-owned. I think it's really important that we encourage our young people of color to do two things. Number one, pursue entrepreneurship coupled with financial acumen. People of color need access to capital, but they also need the knowledge that it takes to successfully fund and grow businesses. Understanding the capital markets and how to use capital successfully will lead to job creation, wealth creation, and equal opportunity. I think it's important for people, regardless of race, color, or creed, to go out and mentor a Black-owned business or a business owned by a person of color, or become a customer of a Black-owned business or a business owned by a person of color. Number two, build long-lasting relationships and don't burn bridges. Over my career, that has led me to be very successful, and I encourage everyone to treat their business associates fairly and to respect their co-workers, their employers, and their employees. Good news travels fast, but bad news travels even faster. In the end, bad behavior will backfire. In closing, I'd like to thank my partners, Jonathan Terzi and Kurt Nyman, who along with me continue to grow our business, Pelham S2K Managers. I want to thank my husband, Lonnie Hampton, of 38 years, whose love and support allowed me to lean into opportunities and success. And lastly, thank you, Color Magazine, for continuing to shed a light on leaders in the communities who are trying to make a difference. Thank you.
And now we've come to our final award. In recognition for their efforts to innovate career development women and young people of color with a focus on self-care and wellness, the winner of the Wellness Innovator Award is Miracle Alantunji, founder and CEO of Opportunity. Miracle Alantunji is a Gen Z entrepreneur, content creator, financial coach, and author of Purpose, How to Live and Lead with Impact. She is the founder of Opportunity, a digital media and education company which empowers the next generation of leaders to develop life, leadership, and career skills. Thank you for your impactful work.
I want to start off with a quote by the late Maya Angelou, who says, "Your legacy is every life that you've touched." I love this quote because it speaks to the impact that we all can have in each other's lives and the impact that we can have in our organizations as well. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be featured and selected as one of the award recipients tonight. I want to thank Color Magazine and all of my mentors, my family, and everyone who has supported me in my journey. This all started back when I was 17, when I started my company, Opportunity. The mission has always been the same: to help people realize and reach their fullest potential at work and in the world. I really want to help people with prioritizing building their careers and also their self-care habits as well. And so it's really exciting to see a shift in our society towards prioritizing both physical health and mental health and wellness. And I'm really grateful for the support of Color Magazine. And I want to say congratulations to all my fellow recipients tonight. Thank you all so much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the award ceremony.
As the program comes to a close, I have the honor of inviting the 2021 Publishers Award winner for Nonprofit Excellence, Angela Patton, to the virtual stage. Angela serves as a CEO for Girls for a Change, an organization that seeks to empower girls and young women by inviting them to design, lead, fund, and implement social change projects that tackle issues girls face in their own neighborhoods. Welcome and congratulations, Angela.
Greetings. Thank you for honoring me for one of the Women of Color Innovator Awards. I am thrilled to be here with you today and to share my journey in Girls for a Change. Again, my name is Angela Patton, and I am the founder of Camp Diva Leadership Academy and the CEO of Girls for a Change, based in Richmond, Virginia, however nationally known. Today, I would like to take you on a little journey with me about how I got to this place of advancing opportunities for Black girls in the city of Richmond, Virginia. First, I'd like to start out by sharing my own personal journey of growing up as a girl raised in Richmond, Virginia. My family is from the south side of Richmond, Virginia. I was born in the early 70s, and my family is what we call in the South middle class families. They got the good job. So my father got a job at United Parcel Service, and we were able to move out of a small community into the suburbs. And during that time, it was very challenging for me because I was one of the only Black girls, not only just in the school that I attended, but also in the community. Fortunately, I was able to meet another friend that I'm still close to this very day, but mainly because we were alone in this place where we were the only Black young girls in the neighborhood trying to find our way. But trying to find our way through being silenced, trying to find our way with being invisible, and trying to find our way by not being valued or celebrated. And so one of the things that I believe that really brings me into this place is really having a clear understanding what it means to be underrepresented, underserved, and definitely thought about and lagging behind. I was what they call the troublemaker kid, the rebellious one, the loud girl. And unfortunately, I'm working with communities today, specifically with Black girls who are facing some of those same challenges. However, we are now in a position at Girls for a Change to really create space and create what we would say agency for Black girls to be seen, heard, and celebrated. So from my own journey, again, of being just left out and misunderstood, I am so happy that I'm in a position now to change that outcome for so many Black girls who come behind me. Here at Girls for a Change, our mission is to prepare Black girls for the world and the world for Black girls. I love that mission and stand by that mission mainly because it is my personal calling and it means so much more than developing a program for a Black girl. It really means to create change that does require for every one of us to stand in the gaps that Black girls face, to really address their extreme unmet needs and to be there for the long haul for Black girls. But also it means that those communities around them must see their value and change their behavior and their mindset and provide opportunities and open doors and not only give seats at the table, but give the girls the opportunity to take it over to really show that they are capable and ready to really show up in the world that sees their greatness. And so at Girls for a Change, I have myself personally have faced some adversities outside of just when I was a little girl. Being a little girl in an all-white school and having friends sometimes and family members sometimes, and of course, unfortunately, some teachers tell me to get over it, just be quiet, it is what it is, has never been the answer. But when I received this calling to start Girls for a Change and the Camp Diva Leadership Academy, I faced some of the same challenges. Oh, no one is going to give you funding to work with Black girls. Why would you want to work with Black girls when you are a Black woman? Where are you going to get volunteers? Black girls can be difficult. All these stereotypes and these microaggressions and biases towards me and the population I wanted to work with were some of the most disgusting comments I have ever experienced. But it really made me understand that this work was necessary and that I received the calling for a purpose. And so right now at Girls for Change, we are extremely unapologetic about standing up and standing with and co-creating programs that are going to do nothing more than advance Black girls. And we do it by any means necessary. And we do it with everyone being at the table by listening and hearing and advocating for Black girls. And so those messages that I received on this journey that I'm still on, that my work did not matter, I knew early on that those were all untruths. And the facts is that it does matter. And so we are here for the duration, how long it takes, however long it takes, to really make sure that Black girls are winning. As I leave you today and continue my journey to prepare Black girls for the world and the world for Black girls, I am still facing controversy on being a disruptor. a person that doesn't give up, a person who is demanding narrative change, a person that is making sure that Black girls are front and center, not only in political spaces in their schools, but right here in the space of Girls for a Change as well. Making sure that we work with youth as partners. One example is that I have been told, unfortunately, by funders before that this work would not last because no one cared too much about Black girls. Or this work wouldn't last because what about Black boys? Or the work wouldn't last because I couldn't exclude anyone. This work is life-changing, game-changing, and it does require for us all to stand in together. Although it appears that it's for one population, it's for all. Because when Black girls come together and want to change the world, everyone benefits, because Black women and girls have those types of nurturing spirits, that energy, that go-get-em spirit, that caring spirit that will make sure that if they win, everyone around them, especially those that they love, will also be winners as well. And as we come to the end of this award ceremony, I would just like to encourage all of you that are listening, that are watching, that are itching to do something in your community, do not fear being an agent of change. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to start something. It is okay to hitch yourself to a wagon that is going uphill. I will encourage you to find a Black girl or woman program in your community that you can support financially, by your talents and your gifts, by your time, your energy, making sure that you are providing a resource. Anything that you have to offer is an abundance for those of us that are leading change. But I also would encourage you, if you choose to start something in your community because you see a gap, stay in it. Do not let anyone tell you that it does not matter, that it's not going to work, no one is going to fund you, because we are community members that know our best needs. We know better than anyone else what is needed in our community. And it is our responsibility to fix it and to pay it forward and make it a lot easier and a lot simpler for those who are coming behind us. So again, please make sure that you figure out where are you in this awesome puzzle that we have to put together. You play a piece or a part in this puzzle to make sure that we are healing, that we are thriving, and that we are winning. And thank you again. And please follow Girls for a Change at Girls for a Change on all social media platforms, and make sure that you start something, you stick with it, and you support your local nonprofits in your community. Thank you.
Let's give one last round of applause for this year's honorees. Another thank you to our judges this year, and a huge thank you to Color for this opportunity. It has been such a pleasure being your MC.